everybody.
Good morning, friends. Happy Thursday. There's nobody here yet, but we are here. We'll do readings for each other, my friend. What can I say? We will wait. We'll give people a moment to pop in. And I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for last week being so gracious to reschedule till today due to the whole eyeball situation. So I appreciate you. Miss Sylvia is in the house. Hello, my friend. Fleck is here. Hello, Fleck.
Hi,
So
Sylvia.
everybody, this is Thomas from Tarot Your Way. And this is kind of an interesting, now I've read with Thomas once before, which was just a couple weeks ago, like impromptu. But this is interesting to me because I'm used to you coming into my chat, right? And then I did a private reading for you, and now here you are on the screen. So this is kind of interesting to me. I love it.
Well, thanks for your advice, and I want to let everyone know that Kelly gives wonderful personal readings.
Oh, thank you, man.
You made me feel so comfortable and so at ease, and explained what you were going to do, and you were so fast. I wasn't expecting you to answer my 3 questions, just boom, boom, boom. But the wisdom and knowledge that you gave me was priceless, and I am trying to go by that.
Well, you are most welcome, my friend. I'm just glad that I was able to help. Cosmic Blue is in the house. Hi, Ben. Where are you, Ben? Where are you? You feel it? Hi, honey. My husband's in the chat saying hello.
Hi,
so, oh, Ben, check your email, love. I sent you an email when you have a chance. So, because you're a first-time guest here at Dozen Cats, whenever a first-time guest comes to visit, we have a couple of questions that we have to ask, which allows us to be able to get to know you in a different way, perhaps a way that we wouldn't get to know you if we were just watching you on the screen.
Okay.
I promise that they're not too intrusive. And if they are, you can say I'm not answering. But we'll do those questions. And if anyone is interested in a reading, do pop your question into the chat. We will get started in a few minutes. I hope that you guys can hear me okay. I've got the air conditioner going in the background because it's hot, friends. It is hot here in Ontario. And I just want to say, to make sure that your bell notification is checked off, because tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing our 1,000 subscriber thank you celebration. And I promise you it's going to be fun. There are lots of special people showing up. And so you're all invited. Oh, Ben says he loves your Monopoly board.
Oh, thank you. It's a cross stitch.
That's so cool. All right. Have a good day, honey. I love you. Okay. So are you ready for your first question?
Certainly.
Okay. So what would you say is an ideal vacation spot? I will give you some options. The mountains, the beach, a historical sort of city or, place, like where you would do like sightseeing, right? The desert, or in like a sort of forest.
I like camping in a forest, but I do need water nearby.
I love it.
A stream or a lake.
I love it. I'm totally about the nature too, I have to say. as much as I think that I could spend some time on a beach. I think that I would last on a beach for like a day and I would be bored. Don't come at me. You know what I mean? So, good morning, Linda. Good morning, Bims.
Well, when I go on my cruises, I stay on the ship just because of mobility issues. Right. But I think I will get off in Key West.
Yeah,
on my next cruise.
Just going on a cruise, friends. So, second question is, what are 3 things that you have to have with you at all times?
Well, I need my walking aid, which is a roller walker. I have to have a cup of Diet Coke. Cigarettes, but cigarettes without a lighter isn't going to do me any good.
Okay, 4 things. I love how you're honest about that, Thomas. I really do. Okay, third question is, do you have like a food that when you either smell it, cook it, or taste it, or all of those things, takes you back to a specific moment, like a really good memory?
Absolutely. I grew up in a Czech and German region of Iowa, and whenever I smell a baked kolache, which is a sweetened dough that's punched down and filled with either apricot or cherry, or my favorite was poppy seed.
Okay.
And that just takes me back to community events and happy times in the childhood.
I love it. I love it. I love food, so it's really hard for me to narrow it down. But one thing that I love that I've actually never made it myself is baked ravioli. And when I say baked ravioli, I mean the ravioli, with the layer of cheese bubbling on top of it, baked in the oven. Every Thursday after baton practice, my mom and dad would come and pick us up and take us home. And if we got to a certain point, we knew we weren't going home. We knew we were going for dinner. And every Thursday we would go to that same restaurant and we would eat the same things. And we probably did that for like 10 or 12 years.
Wow.
Every time I think about baked ravioli, it takes me back to baton, to the family unit. All of us would have our specific dishes. We would never venture away from them. It was just, one of those really cool memories. And so I think it's really interesting that food has that sort of association for us. So the next question is, favorite animal, favorite vegetable, and favorite mineral?
Cats. I like corn on the cob, but you can see the gap won't facilitate that anymore. So I grew up in Iowa, so sweet corn. Favorite mineral, my birthstone, amethyst.
Right there. Love it. Okay, last question. Where's your happy place?
My happy place is outside.
Yeah, me too.
I don't get much nature here in Houston, but when I go down to the corner store and get my cigarettes or go to the grocery,
right,
I go past a bayou, and there's a resident loon that I'll sit and watch for a while, and then all the turtles.
I love that.
And so a bayou is basically a creek that empties into the ocean eventually.
Yep. There's a song that my grandmother used to listen to, and I can't for the life of me remember it, but it has Bayou somewhere in the title. I'll think of it at like 2 a.m. tonight. You know what I mean? I'll be going along. We're like, oh, that's the song. Thank you for answering the questions. Appreciate that. So we have lots of people here. And like I said, if anyone has a question, pop it in the chat. Thomas's link is in the description box below the video. So if you are not familiar with who Thomas is or his channel, please go show my friend some love. He's just started out his channel. How long's it been, Thomas? A couple months now, right?
I started on my birthday, February 26th.
Yep.
And I just crossed the 100 daily card pull videos and just got caught up with journaling those. So I have a journal of all the messages I need, because the tough cards seem to repeat, and
Right.
And they just happen to coincide with the lessons that I need to focus on.
I love that. Bim says that we're two peas in the pods. We have a lot of similarities. I would agree with that. Okay, so we have one question here from Sylvia. And before we pop that on the screen, I just want to give people a few moments to be able to get their questions in. Got all my cards shuffled up, but I wanted to just touch on what you said about the journaling of the cards. It's an important thing to mention if you're learning tarot or learning oracles, or if you're just sort of, venturing into getting your own decks, for a multitude of reasons. One, if you're like learning tarot, it's a great way to learn how the cards can be combined in a reading and the story that they tell. But what I think is a really interesting thing that a journal will tell you, if you write down every day, this was my question and this is what I've got, you can start to see your pattern changing. You can start to see growth. You can start to see healing. You can start to see, shadows coming to light. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing. So that's a really, really good point that you made. So I just wanted to mention that.
That is the intention, to help me grow and, do off-channel studying on that card and reflect on it. And then I'm a dreamer, like vivid dreams every night. And last night I had 2 different ones.
So when you dream, are you getting visions in your dream? Are they messages, or what's your take on it?
Well, I'm usually like a dream that I had yesterday was about a past relationship I had, and part of the unkind thoughts that I still harbor.
Right.
So I need to work on that and be a little more charitable and forgiving. Sometimes I dream in color, vivid color. Sometimes I dream in black and white. Last night, one of the dreams was centered around like a carnival celebration, and probably with what's going on with the submersible, an incident that happened that put lives in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's a very tragic situation. What's going on with that? Cosmic Blue, this is a really interesting question. I am going to start it, but I wanted to pop it up on the screen. Do you feel that the collective of humanity has learned the lesson of compassion and inclusion for all from the onset of COVID and so many other challenges humanity has created to learn? I would like to think that we have, but we'll throw some cards on that and see. That's a really awesome question. Look at Cosmic Blue challenging us first thing in the morning. Come on. No, I'm kidding.
Who thought?
So I just wanted to say something, and I'm not trying to get in the middle of your dreams, but when it comes to forgiveness, I think that we oftentimes go to the place of, I need to do this. I should be doing that. I should be better at this. Which is sort of sending yourself the wrong signal, because you're holding on to something that you can't let go of because another hurt you. A situation, the environment, a person, a combination of all of those things hurt you. You felt threatened or unsafe or attacked, whatever. And when you look at it from the point of, I need to let that go, what's wrong with me, why can't I be more charitable? And I'm not saying that you're doing that, but that's like the internal message that you're giving yourself. A great thing to remember when it comes to forgiveness is, if you could step outside of the situation or step away from the person, unattach yourself from the emotion of this situation, and just think to yourself how much energy you have given it over the course of time. The burden that you giving that energy to that, situation or person has created for you, and how much better you would be served if you could reclaim that energy back. Simply because you have decided to reclaim your power, that you don't want to give it any more attention or any more energy. I think that is a really great way to look at a forgiveness type of situation, where you can, it's not about the person anymore. It's not about the act. It's not about the situation. It's not about it. It's simply about you. And that's it. That's the end of it. It's about you. Take your power back and just say, you know what? It's been 5 years. It's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 months, whatever it's been. And today I'm reclaiming my power, because you can't hurt me, because I won't let you.
Yeah. A lot of things were reframed after my my disability, and I worked on my mental health. Got a professional counselor, and worked through a lot of things. Cried a lot of tears, because of facing situations for what they really are, instead of your one viewpoint. Look or take on things. So I was like 8 months ahead of everybody for the COVID situation, for the social distancing.
Right.
So I gave up my weekly counseling at that time, because so many people all of a sudden needed counseling, and there was a strain on the system.
Right.
And I had gone to meditation and centering, grounding, and other checklists on what makes Tom tick, and had more tools in my toolkit, and could protect myself. And so in the process, I'm trying to live at this moment, not in the past, because
Yeah.
that's where shoulda, coulda, woulda's and guilt live in the past, and anxiety and fear and worry live in the future. But really, all we have is now, and that's why it's called the present, because it's a gift to us.
Truly. Well said, by the way. Ben says, sending hugs, Thomas. You sound like a very brave person. And I agree with that statement. I think that, we get, like, as individuals, no matter what we go through, right? I mean, if that's our experience, it can be horrific to us and tragic and can cause us all sorts of problems. And as human beings, we are so incredibly hard on ourselves, right? Our standards are so high, our expectations are so high, and no, that doesn't serve us well, right? But we get so many mixed messages. I mean, oh, my cats are crying, sorry. When I was like, what is that noise? When you're growing up, you're told to think about, what do you want to be when you grow up? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How many job interviews have you gone to where people are asking you, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 3-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? That's normal, right? People want to know what your future plan is. People talk about having children and they've got like this big plan. And so then you arrive at this point of your life and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this went wrong. This happened. You know what I mean? It's almost like we set ourselves up. Imagine if we knew then what we know now in terms of, speaking our truth, setting up personal boundaries, standing in our power, believing in ourselves, trusting and embracing our sort of wholeness and our oneness. Imagine the difference that all of us would have encountered in our lifetime as we navigated certain challenges. I think about that often and wonder to myself, it seems like unnecessary hurt, unnecessary pain, unnecessary drama and trauma that is becoming more normalized because everybody wants to be like up here somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's expectations are like sky high. And I think that this right here, what you said, Thomas, and what Lindis just said, I'm just trying to get through today. There's no shade in that. Sometimes that's enough. Do you know what I mean? It's totally okay. One step at a time, one day at a time. Because sometimes, as I say so often, the beauty's in the journey. It's not about the outcome necessarily. Yes, the outcome is important, but so is the journey. Right? So,
Gotta take time to smell the roses and
absolutely
enjoy nature.
Good morning, Rose. All right. Let's ask some questions. So Sylvia wants to know how her finances are going to be this summer.
Okay, Sylvia, I read 3 cards, and I have the deck. This is Stoller Tarot, and it's a RWS Rider-Waite-Smith clone, but kind of drawn cartoon and humorous. So we start with the Ace of Swords, and he's portrayed as a chef here, and he's cooking up a dish of crown. And so when we got aces, we've got all the potential of the journey. So this is about communications and rational thoughts. And being that you're asking a finance question, you need to pose any contracts or queries very carefully and word it right, and make sure you understand and ask questions of any lenders or employers, or however you get your financial resources. So just be clear in what you want, be clear in the statements, and make sure you get clear answers, and preferably in writing. And
I just want to say thank you, Sharon. Sorry, go ahead.
And then we go to the Page of Swords, Page of Spoons here. And so you're a little emotional, a little fired up about the finances. So it is a concern for you, or you wouldn't have asked the question. But you may have to examine why were you financially insecure? Did you grow up underprivileged, and your family didn't have enough resources to go around in the past? But it's hard to divorce ourselves from situations because it's all so personal for us. But if you can do that, that'll help get the picture better for you. And then, we're all in the swords. We have the King of Swords, and he's upside down. So the King of Swords, his since he is the king, we've got the authority, the bounty of the kingdom. But him being upside down it may not be the level that you're hoping for. There might just be a little lack, but it's not that you're totally lacking or needing anything. Maybe you get just enough. I hope that helps. Thank you, Sylvia.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. So I actually got 4 cards, because the last 2 popped out. So we start out with the Hierophant. This is the One World Tarot by Lena Rodriguez and Sienna Rose. We start out with the Hierophant. Following the Hierophant, we have the Chariot card. In the challenge position, we've got the Nine of Swords. So picking up on what Thomas was saying about being quite stressed or quite worried about it. But my outcome is vastly different than Thomas's. We've got the King of Pentacles here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We've got the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And so I wonder to myself if something has shifted in the way that you used to be able to manage your finances, or the way that you used to budget. Maybe something has changed in terms of, okay, for the last 5 years, I've had my budget worked out and I knew exactly what I was doing, and these payments all came out, and then, and then I put this in, and, I was able to save, and all of a sudden something shifted, and that's what's causing the oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do this? I think that happened really quickly, which is why, you might be a little bit stressed. But the King of Pentacles is all about providing that secure and safe foundation for the people that they love, for, that solid foundation in their home. You can't get better than the King of Pentacles in terms of money.
Yeah.
And so
the resources that money can buy are all about the Pentacles.
Yeah. So I think that if you are able to manage your emotions and your upset, and just remind yourself that you're doing what you can, be proud of the accomplishments or any achievements that you can. Like if you had an extra $5 that you can give to someone, in terms of paying a bill or to put in the piggy bank to save for something special, make sure that you celebrate that. Don't just think about what you didn't do or what you don't have enough for. Think about the things that you did do. And I think that this is going to turn around really quickly for you. Like I see, like within the next month, that you're going to see a significant change if you can change how you're feeling about it. And this is a great time. It's a great time because we just passed the summer solstice, right? This is a great time to set your intentions and manifest and visualize. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right? So I hope that helps, Sylvia. Thank you so much for asking the question. All right. We're going to pop this question up on the screen because Ben is still here. Ben says, Thomas, do you believe in ghost or the paranormal? And have you had any experiences? And then we'll do, I've got Cosmic Blue after that.
I do believe in ghosts and the paranormal. And I've had what I think is an alien abduction and healing. And I just came out with that story yesterday on Jane the Seeker's channel. I don't know if it's a true memory or a false memory, but there are. When I was abducted, I was also healed by the president. So there are the tangible physical remnants of that. So whether it was true or false, things were set right.
Right. That's so interesting. I just want to pop this on the screen. An affirmation for any of us that are going through a financial situation where we wish that we had more. An affirmation is, I always have more than enough money to pay my bills. It is, it's all connected to the thought process, right? If we think in lack, we will feel lack. We will experience lack. If we think in abundance, we will feel abundance, right? Thank you, Linda, for helping me out. She's always there helping me out. I appreciate you. All right, back to Ben's question. I totally love anything paranormal. It totally freaks me out. Not going to lie. Like I used to say, I totally love that people come to visit me, but just don't scare the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't do that. Because I have anxiety and I can panic real easy. So don't scare me. I've had some profound experiences that I don't know if they're paranormal or if they're not. Things moving in my house. And I swear to God, cabinet, if you make the noise right now, I might have to change. So don't do that because it would freak me out. Sorry, that was TMI. I apologize. I'll tell that story though. So I have a corner cabinet in my house. I'm going to just move the camera. So avert your gaze. Which way am I going? This way? No, this way. Avert your gaze. You're getting, oops. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Okay, we'll go this way. You're getting a whole tour of the house. There's Austin sitting on the couch. And all the way around to the fireplace. Let me know when you can see the cabinet in the corner.
Okay, we're just passing the fireplace. There we go.
Okay.
We got an oak cabinet by the clock.
Yeah, so that cabinet right there. Okay, moving back, avert your gaze. I'm sure everyone wanted to see a tour of my living room.
It's one of those 360 videos.
Right? So that cabinet that cabinet's like 22 years old. It's from IKEA. It's not, a fancy piece of furniture, but I love it. And we had first bought it and had it in our apartment just before we bought our house. And we were having a conversation about my two cousins that had passed. And my husband and I. And the cabinet made a noise like someone was moving it across the floor. I can't explain the noise. It's loud. It's like a crack. But it's an elongated, as if it's like an old door, like opening up. You know what I mean? Like it's an elongated, but it's like a big crack anyway. So this happened when we were having this discussion about my cousins, and both of my husband and I just sort of looked at each other and went, okay, whatever. Like, stop the conversation and move on. But it was so loud and so out of the ordinary that it stopped our conversation and made us look at each other. And we were like, we both sort of felt in that moment that was some sort of sign, signal, whatever. So we stopped talking about it. Many months later, we've moved to our new house, and that has a place in the dining room where it's sitting and it looks all beautiful. And my aunt is over, who is one of the moms of the cousins who has passed, who is sitting in, at the dining room table across from me as I'm telling her that we were having a conversation about, her son and my other cousin, and that this cabinet did it. And when I said it, it did it again. She screamed so loud. I thought someone like smacked her. You know what I mean? Like so loud. My uncle, her husband, was in the basement with my husband, and they both came running up the stairs like, oh my God. So it was a thing. It was a total thing. I don't know what that was. I can't explain it. But I will tell you that when that cabinet makes that noise, and remember, friends, I've had this cabinet since like 2002. That's a long time. It doesn't make the noise all the time. It's like once every 5 years where it makes this weird noise. And every time it does it, now, because Kelly's in a different place, now I just look at it and go, okay.
Yeah, got the message. You're around.
Got it. Done. So I don't know what that is. But I look at any kind of situation like that, like, thank you. I am honored that you decided that today, in this moment, that you wanted to let me know that you were thinking of me, or that you're around me, or that you're with me, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I've always looked at it that way, because it is an incredible honor that of all the people that my cousins could be, choose to spend time with, that they chose to come and say hi to me. Do you know what I mean? So that's my take on it. I just want to say, quickly go up here. Thank you, Ben, for asking that question. That's awesome. Ben says, I love anything paranormal or UFO related. It fascinates me. I'm not really into the UFOs, but the paranormal, totally. And friends, I could go down a rabbit hole. I gotta keep strict brandies up about that stuff. I'll go down a rabbit hole so bad. Cosmic Blue says, it's a beautiful living room. Thank you, my friend. Bim says, we also have a cabinet over 100-year-old family heirloom. Awesome. Cosmic Blue says it was your cousin. Hi, Pooja. Welcome, my friend. Cosmic Blue says it was your cousin saying hi. Rose Blue says cousin saying hi. Absolutely, Pooja. We got your start, love. And what else? That's it. Just everyone saying hi. So I just think that that's a fascinating story, and I thought I would share it since Ben asked. So now we're going to put this up here. This is from Cosmic Blue saying, do you feel that the collective of humanity has learned the lesson of compassion and inclusion for all from the onset of COVID and so many other challenges humanity has created to learn? By the way, I am super hot. Like, I'm in a total sweat right now. Thank you. Spirit sometimes is the hot. It's not a hot flash. I'm over that. I'm just like, just what?
It's just humid. It's so humid for
Yeah.
you in Ontario. We're used to that here in Texas, but you're not used to that.
Oh no, we are. We're used to it. It's too soon. You know what I mean? It's like that's supposed to be like July, August weather.
It didn't gradually get into it. It just
No,
hit.
it just well. I mean, that's Ontario weather, right? One day we're wearing our park and our snowmobile boots, and the next day we're in shorts and t-shirts. So, good morning, Kiba. Cosmic Blue says, Thomas, you were taken to be healed. Was too that they thought, okay, my eggs, yes, eggs. I know, fun. I love it. Okay. Oh, I'm hot.
So,
let's go with this deck over here. No, I'm going to go with that deck.
From my experience cruising, I was on the second week of cruising after they opened it up from COVID out of Miami, and there were two sensibilities. There were us smokers outside smoking together and having conversations, and then there were people that were still afraid and were masked up and socially distanced on the deck chairs, as far as they could be. The cruise was fairly empty because it was just one of the first. Afterwards, it was probably only 1,000 people on a 4,000 passenger ship, but the crew were so happy to get back to work, and the crew were mandated to wear double masks by the cruise line that we were on, and so we all know how uncomfortable that period was, and to think that they had 2 layers of warmth over them, but they did. The cruise line did one thing good, is they took a picture of the crew member without the mask and a smile, and they gave them a big badge button to wear that says the smile behind the mask. And so at the time, it was still fairly new, but we'll see what the cards have to say.
My cards pretty much lean towards a yes. I don't know that, like, my personal experience from COVID was very different than most people's experience. No, it's okay, Pooja. We the readings have started. I've got your question, love. You're right after Cosmic Blue here. My experience for COVID was very different than most people's, because I don't leave the house. So when everyone else, like your friends and your family, your neighbors, whatever, start to complain that they were being locked up, when people are lying and people in the news and different forums and on Facebook or whatever, where everyone was complaining, like, I'm ready to, like, eat my arm, I need to get outside.
I couldn't get my hair done.
I sort of was like, that's interesting. And I wasn't elevated because other people were feeling bad or stressed or anxious or whatever. But I will say that there was a feeling of calm that came over me, because I anticipated that there was going to be more understanding for any person who suffers from being isolated or being alone or being elderly or being, living in a rural community, someone who doesn't have the finances to, go shopping all the time, someone who suffers from a mental illness, someone, who's got like, eight babies or eight puppies at home. Do you know what I mean? Like I had a feeling of calm, that there would be less judgment, more understanding. So in my personal experience, that was my hope. And for me, it made me feel more normal, because now everybody was doing exactly what I was doing, and everyone was freaking out about it. And now I was able to then offer them advice as if I was some sort of an expert on being locked up in the house. And so it was quite a big shift for me, right? And I was lucky, to add to that, I was lucky that there was a lot of people personally, like in my life, that would do the most amazing things to make their pandemic experience more normalized. And I remember having a conversation with my sister where she was like, tonight we're having like a fiesta night, and tomorrow night we're having a picnic night. And like they were trying to do all these awesome things to just make the experience feel more joyful and really sort of embrace the time that they were getting together. And when she would tell me those things, I would just think to myself, this is like childhood to us. This is like how we used to be, right? Where the family sat together and the family talked about their day. We weren't all like sitting there doing this on our phone. We actually spoke. We actually picked up the phone and called someone and, engaged in conversation. When someone said, how are you? We actually cared about whatever they were going to say back to us, because we were invested, because we had time. And I have to say, there was a part of me that was very hopeful that the experience of people being forced to engage in that time spent together, we're going to come out on the other side being like, now that's what's important. Did you know what I mean? Rather than, ooh, look at me on my phone. When you see the family in the restaurant and they're all doing this, nobody's speaking. My hope was that they would come out on the other side of the pandemic being like, you know what, let's have family game night every week or something of that nature. That was my hope. Okay, here's my cards. We've got the Eight of Wands. Following that, we've got the Ace of Swords. Following that, we've got the King of Swords. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card. And so, it came out of nowhere. Like 1 minute people were talking about it, the next minute we were all like, stay home. I mean, here in Ontario, friends, there was about a period of a month to a month and a half where you were not allowed to drive your car just anywhere. Like just to get out of the house and go for a drive, not allowed. You had to have a letter, because if you were pulled over by the police, you needed to show the letter that you had a reason to be where you were in that car going from point A to point B. Like it was serious. Ace of Swords. That is the okay. This is happening. We need to deal with it kind of vibe, right? And the King of Swords to me is that very analytical, logical. I'm gonna okay. Because it threw us all off of our everyday, right? And then of course the Judgment is gaining a new perspective, trying to find the good or the silver lining in the situation. And I just want to say, I pulled an Oracle card and I got the Beast Spirit, which is prosperity. And so I think that if you were lucky enough to be surrounded and supported by people that could keep you positive and you could keep them positive, that you could have a positive sort of experience, and therefore, yes, is the answer. But I don't think that was everyone's experience, sadly. Go. That was a lot. Sorry.
Okay, first we have the Chariot. And then we have the Ten of Swords. And then we have the Page of Brooms. So, this situation was forced upon us quickly, and I tell you, Texans fought it all the way. There was,
Yep.
you know, you can't take away my right to breathe my air without a mask.
Don't even get me started about that whole thing. That thing, I have to say, has never made any sense to me. Still to this moment in time, I don't understand the argument, and I probably never will. And because it's also your choice to keep the people that you love alive.
Right.
So that's the one I go with. Go ahead.
And then with our Ten of Swords, we have Karen with the 10 spoons in her back on her kitchen floor. And a lot of people found out that their employment was betraying them, because all of a sudden they could work from home where they could never work from home before. So a lot of things got reimagined, revisioned during the COVID situation. So it's nice to be on a conference call with, in your boxer shorts and a blazer,
Yeah.
And be able to take care of the kids and spend a little more quality time there at home. Whereas, you got 9-10 hours tied up in being at your employment because you got travel time and breaks and lunchtime. So that took you away from your family. And so when you found out the value of family, that was an intangible benefit from it all. And then for some other people that weren't used to spending 24/7 with family, it was a big reality check that, oh my gosh, this is difficult.
There was a lot of babies born and a lot of divorces that happened. So
yeah. And in Texas we had our share of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, family violence.
Yeah.
And
well, because we're not given the strategies to cope with such a situation, and even if we did have because there was no warning, right? It was there was a lot of fear-based misinformation that came out, and that did not help the situation, because you could talk to one person and they would say like, oh my God, ABC. You could talk to another person, they were like, oh, it's no big deal. I mean, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, please. I just got to 1,000 subscribers. Don't take away my channel now. But, when if we remember back to the beginning of not when they first started talking about it, but like when we were in the prime of lockdown. Right? So that's like March, April of 2021, right? Or 2020, 2021, whatever. And if we think about in that moment, it'll be over by Easter, wear a
Well,
mask,
starving, it'll have nowhere to go. It won't spread, you
right?
know.
Exactly. But I think the thing that stands out about that particular time to me the most is people's answer to calm their own selves down was, well, I mean, this can't be real because I don't know anyone who's got it, right? Or this it was just the flu. No, I mean, people die from the flu too. If you think back to any forum boards that you were on, Facebook, social media, of any, even your friend, that's what everyone was saying. That's how people justified the fear and tried to like sort of help themselves be able to navigate it, because all of a sudden we were dealt with this extraordinary situation, and it was like, you just need to figure it out. And we were like, what? What do you mean I can't leave my house? What do you mean I can't go to the restaurant? What do you mean that I cannot do whatever? And that I need to get this and I need to do that. And I remember that time period where everyone was trying to justify by saying, well, I don't know anyone who's got it, so it's not going to happen to me. And it wasn't too long after that the numbers were escalating and climbing, and people were like, OMG. Like, this is legit. It's real. And I think it was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people, because we are so used to things just being how they are, and coming and going and doing, and moving and grooving and shaking, and like being able to get what we want fairly, relatively easily. And all of a sudden someone was like, no, not now, not this time. We were like, I'm sorry, what? Are you talking to me? I mean, honestly, that's how it felt, right?
So we have our outcome, which is our Page of Wands, and so it's all about action and inaction at the end. Did you do the things right by humanity and society while you were in lockdown, or were you a stark raving Texan? It's just I don't mean to interrupt you, Thomas, but just when you said that, it reminded me that I think that we in the Northern Hemisphere forget that there's a whole other world out there. Do you know what I mean? It's not just the US and Canada. There's a whole other world out there. And this was a global, not a USA pandemic or a Canadian pandemic. This was a global pandemic. I mean, remember, Italy literally shut down. It was a ghost town. So I think that we forget that it was not just us that was impacted. I think that we forget that it was a global thing, and people all around the world suffered so much. Like, I mean, the levels are, it's like beyond comprehension, really, when you think about how many people were affected by just the sheer magnitude of the pandemic. For no matter what your job was, or where you were in your life, like what stage you were, every single person was affected in one way or another. And I think that if we remember the situation and that time for what it was, right, what it brought to us, what it took away from us, and what the takeaway from that is, if we remember those lessons moving forward,
we will be better for them, because I know for myself, I don't take for granted that, well, I could call my sister tomorrow. No, you call your sister now. Right? I can go outside tomorrow. It's fine. No, you go outside now. Made me be more present and made me feel more. If I need to say something, I need to say it, because tomorrow isn't promised. Even though I've had many life lessons that told me that, this made it somehow much more impactful.
It's the message for the collective.
Yeah.
We're no different than anyone else on the planet.
All right. We have one more question. Thank you so much, Cosmic Blue, for asking that. That was a great question, a good thinking kind of question. And thank you, Linda, for entertainment purposes only. Yes. Pooja would like a general message from the spirit guides.
Do you like me to start, Kelly?
Sure, hon. Go for it.
Okay, we start out with temperance, and temperance reminds us to keep vices in check. Is drinking, is gambling, is confusing sex for love. Those are all vices that I have had to deal with over my lifetime. I'm an addictive type personality, and so temperance says, yes, it's okay, you can drink, but in moderation. Don't overindulge, don't drink to get drunk, don't do it every day. So we want to keep that tempered in temperance. And then we have Tower in reverse. So sometimes we forget that we need a shake up to change habits and things. And when Kelly was relaying her story about the cabinet giving a crack, it was definitely shaking her up and Mark. And got their attention. So sometimes we need a rude awakening to look at the things that might otherwise be in our way in daily life. And our output is you got to stand your ground. You got to do some defending, and if you don't stand up for something, you fall for anything, as some words of a song goes. And so when you have convictions, make sure you stand by those convictions, which convictions don't need to be convictions. It can be friends. It can be family. What you need to support, you need to be there and support it wholly, even though you might be a little bit battle weary from doing it time and time again. So keep the addictions in check, and the energy will be there when you need to defend yourself or defend others.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Richie. I will be on with Richie tomorrow, Richie and Gerald, on Richie's channel, which is Longman Tarot, at 2 p.m. Eastern. That was a last minute collab. So we're looking forward to that. Love hanging out with Richie. And of course, everyone knows that last Friday, Richie was supposed to be here, but Kelly put her eye drops in and fell asleep and missed the whole darn stream. So I am grateful to my friend for giving me the opportunity to come back and visit with him. So make sure that you check us out. So Pooja says, awesome message. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome, Pooja.
I pulled some oracle cards for you, Pooja, and this is what I've got. We've got fear. We've got the good being and worth. No, I won't do that tomorrow, I promise. Richie. This is your self-worth, right? It's knowing your worth, understanding your worth. I don't know that I know you, Pooja, from you coming into the chats, but I don't know you, obviously, in life. But I feel that you know who you are. I feel like you understand that you're worthy and all of those things. But inside, it's like you question it. If that makes sense. Now, I have movement. The movement are these two things coming together, right? The fear lessening and the worth increasing. It's like the one on the shoulder is like, hey, you, get lost. I'm in control over here. And you're learning that. It's a lifelong program that we sign up to when we're born, that we need to develop the understanding that we are worth, that we are worthy, right? Of whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to aim for, you are worthy. We have dance and celebration. In my personal experience, and I don't want to take away the significance of this card or take away the importance of what I'm trying to say, because I think this is really, 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 truly important. At the end of the day, who you are equates to how you feel. And I don't mean how you physically feel, although that does play a part in it. I mean how you feel in your heart, how you feel in your head, right? Are you happy? Are you positive? Are you joyful? Do you feel blessed? Do you feel grateful? Are you compassionate? Are you kind? Those kinds of things. And when you bring those things together, those things will ultimately supersede and kick fear right out of the way. Those things then move to the front and center. That is when the celebration, that's when the dancing happens, because you have arrived at a new understanding. You have arrived at a place where you feel bliss and joy and contentment and love. And then all of the challenges don't seem to be so darn challenging. So that's what I got for you, Pooja. Keep working on increasing your worthiness and decreasing the fear. And those two things, they do sort of go hand in hand. The more the worth increases, the more the fear decreases, right? That's what I got for you. Look at all the lovely comments. Tarot Stash is in the house. Hello, Gerald. By the way, Gerald and Richie sent you guys an email. Do check it out if you have a chance. I know you guys are very, very busy. So Pooja says, yes, I am there, but here and there, fear creeps in. Absolutely, my friend, and that's okay. That is why we need to, always work on ourselves. Always tell ourselves that we are worthy. What's the matter? Are you okay? The cat just came down the stairs and his eyes are like this big. And I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? What's wrong? Don't freak me out. Okay. Yes, absolutely. But still, I try to keep trusting on God. Yep. Trust yourself. Trust yourself Trust in your higher power that the guidance that you are receiving is exactly what you need to serve you best, right? Hi, Pisces greeter, best hugger out there. Sharon Sipe is putting all the links in the chat. We appreciate you. Sonia says, so I am late. Are the questions closed for today? May I have a message from Spirit, please, and thank you. Well, since you asked so nicely, of course, we'll get you in there. Pooja, by the way, says, yes, true. It's a societal conditioning. 100%. Okay. Let's do the question for Sonia, and then we will call it a day, and we will let you guys get on with it. So don't forget, tomorrow, 1,000, thank you, 1,000 subscribers, thank you celebration, 8 p.m. Eastern time, tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. on Longman Row. If you are looking for me, Thomas's link, Sharon put into the chat. It's also in the description box below this video. And I just want to say to Thomas, thank you so much for being here. And before we end, I'll ask you what's going on with you, and you can tell everyone. Do you show my friend some love? Hit the thumbs up, give him a subscription. Go check out his readings. You know the drill. You know all these YouTube things that we need to do. All right. Sonia wants a message from Spirit. A message from Spirit for Sonia. A message from Spirit. I'm like totally on the bad list because it's so hot here, and I've got to have the air conditioning on. So the cats, all the windows are closed, and they are some not happy. This morning, Austin walked around behind my chair here and flopped in front of this big living room window on the floor, just laid there, like, and let out this meow that I don't know that I've ever quite heard before, to let me know how displeased he was with me. I was like, so sorry. Hi, Gypsy JJ. It's good to see you, my friend. Whenever you're ready, my dear.
Oh, okay. Get my hands to work here.
All good.
We got the Two of Brooms, and this is our Two of Wands, and that's making plans. So the spirits are making plans for you, Sonia, and you don't know what's in their grand scheme of things, but they'll let it be known as you need to know it. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So this is your fiery passion, creativity. It's the beginning of things. So if you're not already on your spirit guide path, you're paving the way to get there. And I don't know that you could have a more positive outcome than the sun. So it's abundantly clear what the spirit guides say to you. So they're making plans to give you that grand epiphany. Some people get whispers, and you're going to get a definite message that you won't be able to ignore. You'll know that Spirit has so much in store for you and all of us, and it's gonna be positive, and you're gonna be so blown away when it happens.
I love it. I love it. Bear with me for just a second. Dramatic pause. Sorry. What the heck? Okay. So, Sonia, we start out with the Phoenix card and transmutation. So, things are happening, things are changing, energy is shifting. You may be aware of it, you may not be aware of it. And it's totally okay if you're not aware of it, by the way. Because we say that oftentimes, and I don't know that people feel like it's okay that they don't know, right? We don't always know, and that's okay. Picking up on what Thomas said, I've got the Raven here. So that's two birds, by the way, right? The Phoenix and the Raven. The Raven is all about magic, coincidence, and synchronistic events. So if you're seeing, different sequences of numbers, 111, 222, 333, 1212, that kind of thing, pay attention to those times and try to remember what it was that you were thinking just before you seen the synchronistic numbers. Perhaps you were thinking of someone in a song that you associate. Oh, I just got a tingle in my head. So I don't know if they communicate with you through song, but you're getting those kinds of messages. So try to pay attention to them. Trust in the process. Trust in whatever's happening to you. I think that you feel something, but you're not sure why, and so you're like, "What's happening?" And you're starting to almost resist it, right? So you need to trust and be open to it, to allow it to happen to you, and allow the connection to strengthen. Vitality. This is the fig. Now, this vitality card is about not only keeping your nutrients up, but your nourishment in terms of making sure that you're aligned, making sure that your chakras are balanced, that kind of thing. Making sure that you do your meditation, that you're grounded and centered, because that is when the connection can come through in a really beautiful way. So that's what I got for you, Sonia. I hope that helps. I hope it makes sense. Okay, so Cosmic Blue says, thanks for the great energy and connection before I go to sleep, 2 a.m. in the land of Oz. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for your kind comments, and we wish you a happy sleep. Pooja says, actually, now I have started noticing intuitive hits more, but still fear comes up about what if that doesn't go right. Yeah, can't. And listen, that's perfectly normal because you're a human being, and that's what we do. We worry. We don't know if, we're supposed to go left or if we're supposed to keep going straight. That's what we do. But at some point, you have to trust in yourself that you have the wisdom to navigate whatever path you are on, right? And also the understanding that if we live in a outcome, if we're so focused on where do I want to be in 5 years, if that's the thing that we're thinking about, what about all the beautiful things that happen on the way to the 5 years that you might miss? So it's just sort of changing it a little bit. It's not a massive change. It's just changing a bit. It's being more open to take in things that are happening now. Doesn't mean that you have to forget about where you're going. Just means that you need to also focus on what you're doing now, right? It lessens the pressure when you do that, I think. Hi, Scorpio Mama. So, friends, thank you so much for tuning in today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thomas, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really, really enjoyed this.
Thank you for trusting me with your viewers, Kelly.
Of course. Please. We're all one big happy family, my friend. So what is coming up for you, friend? Where are you going to be? What are you doing? Where can people find you at?
People can find me at Tarot Your Way. 3676. But if you look for Tarot Your Way, you'll see my face on a purple T-shirt in a circle. Otherwise, I will be on my show.
Sonia said in the comments it's 12:21. So there you go. I love it.
I will be on my show. I do 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
Is that Eastern or
Central?
Central. So 11 o'clock Central, 12 Eastern. Go ahead.
And that gives some different people chances to see readers. I usually try to find a newer reader to read with me. Sometimes that doesn't always work out, but I try to entertain the best I can if I'm solo. And then next Thursday at 3 p.m. Central, I'm going to have one of the viewers, Nivra, come read with me.
Cool.
And she's got a funny, sassy way, and she said she hoped she didn't get me kicked off of YouTube for swearing. So I'm sure she'll be fine. And this is the deck that I've been using, the Stoller Tarot.
Cool.
And it's a cartoonist Adam Stoller. Available U.S. games, Amazon for about $20. So that is the size that fits in an automatic card shuffler for me. So
Love it.
That's what works for me. And Kelly, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be everywhere, friends. My schedule is jam-packed, as always. So today I'm here with you. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., I'm with Richie on Longman Tarot and Gerald. At 8 p.m. tomorrow night, it's the 1,000 subscriber thank you celebration. That's Eastern, by the way. On Monday, thank you, my friend. On Monday at 5 p.m., I will be on with Allie at Heart and Soul Connected. At 7 p.m., I'll be here at Dozen Cats. I don't know who my guest is at the moment because my brain is off. Tuesday, I'll be back here. Wednesday night, I'll be back here doing Achieving Wellness. We'll be talking about shadow work and doing some shadow readings with Hershey, the shadow reader. On Thursday, I'll be back doing my coffee break. Then on Friday, we have a Canada Day celebration. So a bunch of Canadian readers are gathering together backyard at the fire pit. Myself, Ron Unconditional Love, Sharon from Strawberry Rhubarb, Pierrette White, Tracy Ralph, and possibly Kevin the Healing Medium might pop in for a moment. So lots of things going on. Make sure you got your bell notification checked on so you don't miss anytime I upload new content. Of course, I've got the daily readings coming out, the weekend, like I said, busy. But I love it. And I'm here for it, my friend. So without further ado, I will let you guys go. Get on with your day. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Do give us a thumbs up and show us some love in the comments. All those things help all the YouTube channels that you watch. So from us to you, we wish you many blessings.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.